All right, let's have a conversation. Let's say hypothetically you want to lose about 15, 20 pounds, let's say between now and the holidays. You want to be super hot for the holidays. You want to be the talk of the town, or at the very least, the talk of your goddamn family dinner. And you want to be the subject of, or even better, you want to be the subject of your ex's family dinner when they go, "Oh my god, did you see they got hot? Oh my god, why did you break up with them? They would have been so good for you. The genes would have been great for your kids." Anyways, let's say that's what you want to do, but we have one problem. You're not really quite sure how you're going to do it. You're overwhelmed by the information, and on top of that, you're vegan. I mean, I'm not judging you, I'm straight edge, but the point is, you don't know what you're supposed to do. Sorry, I had a burp. You're not sure what you're supposed to do, and you're not sure how you're going to go about it. Well, luckily for you, I am a certified trainer as well as a personal trainer. Certified nutrition is what I meant to say. And I've been doing this for quite some time now. I was able to lose 70 pounds in about a year, and it came through trial and error. And I realized that if I just knew a little bit more of the tools that I can use to help me lose weight, I would then discover a sustainable and pretty fun way of actually losing the weight. And I can break it down for you really easily in about 3 steps. That's going to guarantee you lose weight. Not because I've discovered some magic thing, but literally just because it's science and it's pretty much impossible if you're following these things that you're not going to lose weight. But I digress on that. Anyways, we're going to break it down to 3 really simple concepts that are going to help you lose weight. And we're going to keep in mind that you're vegan. Remember that. And hopefully explain this in about 15 minutes or so. Now, there's one concept that needs to be understood and drilled in your head. It's something you'll hear me say repeatedly on this channel, and because repetition is like the only way that things tend to stick for me, I'm going to assume that's going to do the same for you. And that is, the only way you're going to lose weight is if you're in a caloric deficit. That means you're going to eat less calories than it takes your body to make you be you. If you're not sure more of what a caloric deficit is, just Google it. For the love of God, just fucking Google it. And if you need to know how many calories that is to be in a caloric deficit, then just Google a TDEE calculator on Google. I'm not going to get super detailed in that. I have a video on that if you need to know. Anywho, this is what you're going to do. Now, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to prioritize proteins. Now, as a vegan, you unfortunately do not have access to the things that typically are associated with like a high protein, eggs, dairy, meat, but that's not an issue. That does not mean protein does not exist in other things. And by the way, for all the carnivorous and big meat eaters, if you're going to hear this thing about like, well, animal protein is the best, your body absorbs it, blah, 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 shut the fuck up. People and human beings have different ways of doing things. And what I want to make sure is that everyone feels comfortable within the confines of how they want to spend their diet and time. And if that means that for you, it's going to be a vegan diet, then fuck it. We're going to figure out how to do this as a vegan diet. We're not going to fucking, cater to what other people want to do. Anyways, so I would like to say that this breaks like the food sources in terms of protein sources break down into kind of like either things that kind of feel like a meat, or at least in my mind, like take up the headspace and the physical space of like just a plump piece of meat without it being meat, obviously. And then other things that are just happen to be high kind of like protein sources, but aren't necessarily going to be like replacing meat in a meal. But again, there's no rules. There's no culinary rules, especially. You decide how you want. I'm just going to give you the information. You run with it from there. So the first one would be like lentils. Lentils is something you can use in soups, in salads, or I think they use them in some type of curry sometimes. You're looking at about 18 grams of protein per cooked cup. That makes it very versatile legume, or whatever the fuck how you pronounce that word. Point is, lentils are a pretty strong option. You have a strong amount of protein. They usually taste pretty good. You get a lot of variety since you can do them in soups or in salads. It is excellent. You'll have the opportunity to use those pretty much in different ways. Now, the other one would be chickpeas or garbanzo beans. Just really want to say it that way. Something like that, 15 grams of protein per cooked cup. Now, I don't know how to make hummus or falafel or any of those things. So I am simply not going to tell you like, that's easy. Just go make hummus and you'll achieve your protein goals, because that's probably going to require a lot of shit. And we're trying to keep things easy. But something you can do that's super easy, that's going to give you a lot of protein, you're going to take like canned chickpeas and you're going to just like season them onto like a pan and throw them in the stove for like, I don't know, I think it's like 10 or 20 minutes. Just fucking TikTok a recipe and you'll find it. They come out like crispy and crunchy, which is a fucking awesome texture. So you can just throw that over some rice and then maybe some lettuce to fill it up, and you can have a huge volume meal with all the rice and lettuce, and adding the chickpeas would be a protein source, and that would be awesome. And the other one I would suggest, Let's see what's on the list here. Oh, I don't like edamame. I don't want to suggest that. If you're into edamame, go ahead. There we go. Black beans. Black beans, which is particularly strong, and actually go into the second tip I have for you. But we'll get. I don't want to jump the gun. We'll get there in a second. But black beans are going to be super versatile for the same thing. Burritos, salads, soups, black beans. You're looking at 15 grams of protein per cooked cup. All of these gonna kind of range in that 20 or 15 to 20 grams of protein per cooked cup. That's super important. Cooked cup, because eventually you're going to measure. But a cooked cup. Now, as far as vegan options that kind of feel like a meat, as far as I know, the really only things that I am aware of are like tofu, which you're looking at between 10 and 20 grams per 100 grams, which is great. 100 grams is about a quarter of a pound. It's not exactly 400, but 400 grams is roughly a pound. I don't know the exact math. Don't make me look it up. It makes me look foolish. I suck at math. The other thing with tofu is that you can pretty much season it to be whatever you want, because you can like grill it, you can fry it, you can like stir fry it. Tofu is just a canvas that you can just season however you want, and it'll taste good, and it has the ability to be textured however you want. Plus, you can buy it in different firmness, and that different firmness is going to kind of mess with the texture, which makes it super fun and super easy. The other one is like tempeh, which I guess is fermented soybeans. That one's like cool if you're trying to make like bacon or like type of sandwiches, because it kind of has that like nutty flavor that mixes well with bread. See, when I hear nutty flavor, I immediately get turned off. That's just me, but some people are into that. So more of like I feel like my light's like kind of dark. Let's make that a little lighter, huh? There we go. Fucking content. Anyways, the tempeh is going to be more of like a bacon option. So to kind of, I'm saying a lot of information, so keep up with me here. It's tofu is going to be good as a meat for like just like a roast meal or something like that, whereas tempeh is going to be good for like a sandwich, which is something that you're definitely going to want options for. Because seriously, if you're not trying to make sandwiches like for your weight loss, I don't know what the hell you're doing. Now that goes into the second point. Now to bring it back to beans, beans are also a high source of fiber. That's the second tip. Aside from making your meals protein dense, you should make your meals fiber dense. The reason for that, protein and fiber are going to be two things that can keep you full longer. Think about the worst part of a diet. The worst part of a diet is the fact that you feel hungry because you're literally, eating less. And because you're eating less, you feel hungry all the time. Diets fucking fail because when you eat this food that you know is good but it didn't keep you satisfied, you're now tempted to go and snack again and eat food that you're not supposed to be eating. And that is a big fucking problem. But if you incorporate protein and fiber, you're going to be full till the next meal. And then you're going to feel fucking amazing. And suddenly dieting is going to be really easy and really kind of for you, especially if you're catering it with protein and fiber dense foods. Bear in mind, if you're not used to eating a lot of fiber will send you to the bathroom. You will be stuck in the bathroom for a minute. It's an absolute warning. And you will get used to it. It's just a hump you have to get over. However, you will be sent to the bathroom. It is going to be difficult, but it's going to be fucking worth it. Also, fucking hack, if you're in the bathroom all the time, you're probably not going to be fucking eating in the kitchen. That's not exact science. That's just simply how it goes. But if you have a protein-rich diet and a fiber-rich diet, then the next step will simply be incorporate some level of movement. Dieting is the only thing you would need to lose weight. You don't have to do exercise because remember, caloric deficit is the only way you will lose weight. However, there's more to health than just a number on a scale. And there's more to health than physical health. The mental health is a bigger, in my opinion, aspect of it and a huge, huge tool. And this is not to discredit people. I know there's people who suffer from mental illness who spend plenty of time outside. I'm not saying these are fixes for everyone's problems, but the point here is not to use everyone as a competition as a metric. Your only competition should be yourself yesterday, and you should be striving to make every day a little bit better. And anything is better than nothing. So even if your exercise at the beginning consists of just going for a walk for 15 minutes, going for a walk for 10 minutes, fucking doing a cool dance, going to one of those, like, you've seen those videos where it's like people doing like trampoline or like weird slingshot exercises, and they say like, oh, white women will do any sort of exercise except for normal conventional exercise. Yeah, sure. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If it gets your body movement, then there's plenty of value to that. And you just have to understand that everyone has a different journey and everyone has a way of a journey looking, everyone's journey starts differently. And if your journey can start with doing something that maybe you're motivated by being in group settings to do exercise, maybe you want to just go for a walk by yourself in order to just kind of get your mind off of things, get away, isolate, listen to a podcast, listen to an audiobook. Something that I used to do all the time that I still do to this day is I will take an album that I love and I'll listen to my walk will be the duration of that album. It's an excellent tool. I love doing that. And it makes it varies it. And, sometimes I cheat and pick an album that's pretty short and I'll go for an EP. But the point is, it's something that's going to help me stay consistent and it's worth it. And even if you only do it 3 times a week, even if you only diet 3 times a week, it's going to start and then it's going to snowball into something beautiful and gratifying because you're going to have this momentum and you're going to realize that there's something beautiful when you start taking care of yourself, when you start really putting attention to yourself, you will love. And this is, by the way, PSA. It may be selfish, but it's supposed to be selfish because there are times where being selfish is in fact healthy. And when you're trying to lose weight and you're trying to put yourself in a better health, then you have to be selfish sometimes. Sometimes you can't go out to eat. You can't go out to eat and enjoy time with your friends unless you figure out ways to do it. Maybe you go out to eat, but you don't get anything. Or maybe you go out to eat and you look at the menu ahead of time and you understand there's an item that you can order that's going to help you stay within your goals. The point is that sometimes losing weight and becoming healthy can be inherently selfish, and it's supposed to be a healthy thing. And it's okay. You shouldn't feel guilt about wanting to better yourself. All I want for you is to make the journey of getting healthy, and if that comes in the point of losing weight, if that comes in the form of beginning to exercise, I want that journey to be fulfilling, but I want you to feel happy about it because when I lost weight initially, I fucking hated myself. I depleted my body. I did not pay attention to what I was supposed to be eating, and all I did was crash out, and it was horrible. And yeah, the scale went down, but at what cost? My mental health, my confidence, all the things that I thought were going to be fixed. Nope. Absolutely wrong. Dog shit. Once I learned the tools and how you're supposed to do it sustainably, suddenly everything was way better. So much easier. It was so much more fulfilling. And that's what I'm hoping that I accomplished today. I simply just want to be the tool that I needed when I got started. You'll hear me say that over and over again because it's true. When I first started with this journey, as it will be when I'm at the end of my journey. But I hope this was helpful. And just as a quick recap, I want you to understand protein, fiber, move your body. You can absolutely do that as a vegan and you'll 100% lose the weight. And also, here's a pro tip. Sauces. One of the most killer things is sauces. If you can eliminate sauces, or maybe not eliminate, but alter sauces with alternatives inside of your vegan thing, because seasoning is, at least when I tried to be vegan, because I was vegan for a little bit, I seasoned the fuck out of everything because I was just eating a bunch of vegetables. And I realized that I was kind of being counteractive because I wanted to be vegan for health reasons, but I was smothering everything in oil and sauce. So pump that back. Try to mitigate it. Opt for spray oils. And also, anyone who tells you seed oils are inflammatory, tell them to eat shit and die. Well, nah. I'm going to stick with that. Eat shit and die. And then the other thing is create alternative sauces. Stores have sugar-free versions of sauces. There are recipes on TikTok and YouTube about making sugar-free versions of sauces or low-calorie versions of sauces. And even if you don't have yogurt, you can always buy like an almond milk style-based yogurt or a soy-based yogurt and use seasonings to make like ranches and things like that. Okay, we're still good on time, but I want to make sure this video is under 15 minutes. The point is, you have the power to do this. Don't ever let anyone tell you otherwise. And it doesn't have to be every day. Consistency can look like an up and down. Maybe you only dieted 3 times a week and the other days you did whatever you want. Just remember that it's a journey, it's not a fucking sprint, and be kinder to yourself today. All right, have a good one.